Hello everyone, my name's Giselle, and recently, as you probably know by now, I've been making characters for a webcomic. Today I'm going to be designing the last one. Not the last one, but the last one before I start drawing the comic. There will be more characters made throughout the process, so if you're liking these videos, don't you worry, but this is the final character before I get to business. Okay, so the first part of the process is concept designs. This is just kind of going through my ideas and putting them all down. A lot of the time I'll either have too much in my little brain and it doesn't really all work together, or I'll have not enough and I don't really realize until I put it down that I have one cool feature for this character and nothing else. The second one was the case this time. She is supposed to kind of be half and half of a human and it's not fairies, but a similar to fairy species, and so I wanted her to look kind of cut down the middle. So she was supposed to look kind of human, but not fully. And in this first design, I realized since the only part of her like fairy side that I was showing was just wings on her head, and her face didn't really feel that heavily impacted by the wings on her head. When I imagined it, I didn't know how I wanted it to happen, but I wanted those wings to kind of warp her face, I guess. I also gave her this like summery dress. It kind of just looks like what you'd wear to a picnic. It doesn't really look that fantastical, so I had to change that. So in the second design, I thought giving her black eyes might make her seem more impacted. I also swapped out her eyebrows for like smaller wings, and then I gave her bangs because I realized if I gave her that same middle parting, it would just look a little strange. It would kind of look like she had a long forehead. So yeah, I gave her bangs. I also gave her this winter coat. At this point I still wanted the dress to be like sticking out underneath. But it kind of did look a little messy, so I changed that later on. I think, generally speaking, I still want the dress to be there, but I don't think it should be showing all the time. I also decided instead of making her eyes mostly black, I should make them mostly white. I just think it kind of suits the rest of her character, otherwise I go straight to her eyes and I don't notice the giant butterfly wings on her head. So yeah, I wanted to keep it all a similar line weight, I guess. Okay, so next up it was time for her reference sheet. This is super important for this character because she is very detailed. Her clothes, her design, everything, so she needed a reference sheet. The part I was most nervous about going on to draw over and over again in this comic was obviously the wings around her head. So first thing I did was I made myself a cute little reference of the wings with their patterns on the top left corner. I also wanted her piercings to have a more specific look to them. If you've ever seen someone with piercings in real life, you'll know that when you're far away, it just kind of looks like dots, right? Because you can't see properly. When you're closer, you can see all the little details. And so I wanted to know what the little details of her piercings would be when we were a bit closer up. So I put that reference in there too. I always put the eye references because I have a real issue with keeping eyes consistent, so I needed that one. She doesn't fight like the other characters, so she just has a bunch of stuffed animals and a book and a bag and, you know, normal like child stuff, I guess. As far as her color palette goes, I kind of used the same colors that she had in her original drawing because I still liked them. Except I warmed them up a little bit. At the time that I drew her for the first time, I was obsessed with very dull colors. I still love dull colors, but at the time I didn't really know how to make them still feel alive, you know? I used dull colors and they just felt dull. It didn't feel like dull colors used correctly. So this time I warmed them up a little. I still kept them pretty like pastel, I guess. I used this kind of pinkish purple color too. That is a habit of mine, by the way. Whenever you see me using green, you might notice it is actually just muted yellow. Whenever I use purple, it is just slightly purple pink. And it's because I am biased with my colors. Also, fun little fact about this character, the first time I ever drew her, I had no references with me, and so for all of those wings on her head, because I didn't know I was going to put the wings on the head, okay? I didn't know she was going to have wings, I just knew she had to be kind of fairy-ish. So all of those wings on her head, the first time I ever drew her, I had no references, and I was too lazy to get some, so I just put a bunch of hearts up there. It looks really silly. I'll show you guys, but she has definitely grown a poop ton. I really liked watching this because I felt like I could also see just my progress. Obviously I love this character, but it was also just kind of nice to see how my art has grown. While I was actually designing all of the characters for Little Decay, this comic, I wanted to do her last, at least last out of the main cast, because I wanted that tiny little bit of improvement I would get drawing these characters to go to her, because every drawing you do, you improve a tiny little bit. And so I wanted her to be the best one of the main cast, and I think I got that, because she looks awesome sauce. Okay, now it's time for the profile turnaround. Every single time I do one of these, I complain. If you've been on this channel before, you know how I felt while drawing this. You know I was crying and I was sweating and I was like clawing at the walls. There's freaking claw marks that look like a wolf made them right next to me right now. It was horrible, but I'm not gonna complain any more than I just did. At least for this video. I will in the future, because you guys are probably tired of that. Because I do it every time, because I hate this. I literally, while I was doing this, I thought to myself, I should have just been a musician. Why did 12-year-old me do drawing when I could have played the guitar or something? But that's also a lie, because I couldn't have played the guitar, because when I did music class in primary school, I was told I had to cut my nails to play the ukulele, and I said, no, I'll do piano instead, because I did not want my nails to be shorter than my fingers. Because I love having long nails. Anyways, onto the actual flippin' drawing. Oh my gosh, shut up, Giselle. This was honestly easier than most profile turnarounds I've done. I think it's probably partially because of the fact that I've done a bunch for this. It felt a little more natural. Also, I wanted her profile to be... I wanted her to have like a flatter nose, I guess is how I'd put it, and I think it's so cute. I really like how it turned out. Usually when I do these profile turnarounds, they feel like, yeah, that's what the character would look like from that angle, but I don't really enjoy how they look at the end. This one, I will say, she's a cutie pie. Maybe I'm biased because she's like my actual baby who I birthed in a barn, but, you know. I'm allowed to be biased if I want to. Also, she is the character that absolutely needed a profile turnaround the most out of any of these characters, because she's got her crazy head thing going on, and I thought to myself while I was doing this, oh my gosh, I'm gonna have to draw that butterfly pattern so many times. No, I don't want to do that. But then I remembered that I'm a genius and I'm smart and I deserve the Nobel Peace Prize, because in my reference sheet I remembered to put references of the little wings. So I was fine. I basically was just drawing her peepers over and over again. Also, I wanted to do a little background. I think it's so cutesy. Honestly, I normally hate this, but I love this one. It's so cute. Also, I gave myself a little bit of slack. I didn't force myself to shade it. I just did the base colors, which I think is fair enough. Also, I think it suits her because she has such cool colors that you don't even need to shade it. You don't even need to shade her for her to be awesome and cool and fun. So yeah, here it is. Honestly, watching this speed paint kind of makes me want to do more profile turnarounds. What the flip? Who said that? Next up is outfits! Oh my goodness gracious, I love doing outfits. If you watched my video designing Wilda, you know I was excited for this one. The same way you know I hated the profile turnarounds, you know I was excited for this one. I love giving characters little outfits. Also, throughout this video, you've definitely picked up on the fact that this character is my baby. You know, I conceived her. And so when I was drawing these outfits, I was having a blast. I felt like I was giving my little baby clothes, you know? First, I gave her a school uniform because I thought she's gonna be smart, she's gonna be educated. And then I thought, oh, what if she's cold? And I gave her a jacket. This was so joyous, I loved it. I kind of felt like I was playing with a doll. Like, you know those, when you're younger, you'd get those, like, dress-up dolls and they were just flat and then the clothes would be like paper and you'd put them over it. I felt like she was my little dress-up paper doll. and I was dressing her up. Also, I am rewatching Fairy Tail at the moment, and so I kind of wanted to, you know how if you've ever watched Fairy Tail, they cut away into these really stupid expressions, so I kind of wanted to try out a bunch of those, but I didn't end up keeping it for like all but 2, because I just wanted her to be a cutie patootie. I couldn't help it. Also, she keeps her braids for pretty much every single outfit aside for the performance one. Okay, this is a little bit of a spoiler for the comic, but not really. She becomes a circus performer at one point, and that is the only time when she's not wearing the braids. I've said before, hair has importance to the story. Her braids have importance to the story. Even in my like first concept design for her, I knew she was gonna have to have braids, because that's just like, it's basically a set in stone part of her. Oh my gosh, also, I forgot to tell you guys last time, for all of these characters, I give them, like, songs that I think reflect the character, and, oh my gosh, I should read them out. For Philo, it's Cycles by Lily, I can't pronounce the last name properly, I think it's like Trafilla. It's super, super good. I love that song, and it is super hardcore. So if you like this character, you should go listen to that song. I'll put it in the description or something. I think going forward, maybe I should tell you guys that. But I just, you know, I'm a fan of my own characters. For this, I was coloring. I kind of struggled with it a little bit because I didn't know how to give her like dark purple blush and also keep her bright and kind of glowy. Her blush is kind of inspired by Homestuck cosplays, by the way. I used to be a cosplayer, as I've said before, and I always used to think it was so cool when Homestuck cosplayers, or just anyone who cosplayed like a non-human character with like a non-human skin color, would make the blush and also non-human blush color. I just thought it was cool, and so I wanted to do that, but then I also wanted her to feel like sparkly and bright because she's a magical creature. She has butterfly wings on her face. I didn't want her to be creepy. Also, I gave her freckles. I have a disease. I give every character freckles. Please help. If you know any doctors that can save me, you know, give me their number. Anyways, that's the end of the video. My commissions are open on Instagram, so you should look at them. You should look at them if you like me. Bye!